All right. Do you go with the full? Your last name is French?
No, Scottish.
No, Scottish.
Yeah.
And how do you pronounce the last name?
Collier.
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 And so it's never like Collier?
No, dude. Like,
No,
I did a
it's-
Montreal Comedy Festival, and they're like, Reno Collier. I'm like, dude, you're not even trying.
No?
No, I mean, it's Collier. Like, I'm Scottish.
Okay.
I mean, it comes from the word coal miner.
My last name is French. It's Genin, and it's actually pronounced Genin, but I've 100% adopted like the Americanized version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are here with Reno Collier, not Collier. I was assuming. I just assumed. I thought I was a little more educated. So you have been selling out shows here in St. Charles, absolutely murdering it last night,
Dude,
full
it was
crowd.
a blast. It
Good.
was so much fun.
And I'm going to give some insider information. You're on the juice right now.
I'm on the roids.
He is. So you're on steroids because
Bronchitis.
So you're battling bronchitis. He's on steroids, and you really felt it like Thursday, physically, mentally, and then you came out of that funk swinging, and boom.
It was fun, man. I was so out of it Thursday night
Right.
that, like, you know, that out of body almost.
Yeah.
Where you're kind of, but once you get on stage and the juices start going and people are laughing and it's like you forget. Then you get off and you're like, you know, and then let's do it again. Let's go. You know.
So you've been touring, and do you want to talk about doing the? I thought the Carnival Cruise stuff was awesome.
No.
No, you're like hell no.
No. We could talk about it.
Okay.
It was. There's a lot of great comics out there.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
Right.
It's just not my thing. I did it. I was going through a divorce, and I had to pay a lot of alimony and stuff, and I had to work as much as I possibly could. And it's a great way to see a show. It's not for me, man.
There's no way.
Yeah, I'm not. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
Like, the crowds are great. The people are great. You know, it's all good. It's just not my thing.
You like the freedom, being able to walk around and.
Yeah, I can't be on a boat like that. Like, I can't take all the people and not being able to get away, and it's just I don't want to say anything.
What's your favorite thing to do comedy, like performance comedy wise? Clubs, nightclubs, huge event. Like, what is your?
I didn't like huge venues. Like, I did arenas for years with Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
And then I did a tour where we did like the Boston Garden and all that stuff. I didn't like it.
And you like the smaller venues.
I love
What's a
smaller
perfect crowd?
venue. Probably 500 to 1,000.
Wow. That to me is still a huge crowd.
It's
huge.
still intimate enough, and you can ride. I love the club atmosphere. Is my favorite because you're the closest to people, and you feel what they feel. Once you get over 1,500, you're kind of like in arenas. You do like we did it in the round, so there's people all around you. So you're turning, but you look. People spend like $250 on a ticket, and they're looking at the jumbotron.
Right.
They're not even watching you. So it's kind of – it's like like people pay to see a ventriloquist in an arena. Anybody's a good ventriloquist from 200 yards away. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't see their mouth, it doesn't make any sense to me. Comedy should be an interaction and a relationship between – a band.
Right.
You can feel the music from the back, but it just – for comedy, it's different for me.
I think there's got to be an interaction level, which obviously you're murdering in the 200-person club level.
Yeah. Yeah, I like for people to feel the laughter too, if that makes any sense.
Like off of other people, like an emotional contagion?
Yeah. Like you're attached, you're connected when you're intimate with the crowd. Like you're able to kind of ride and go. In an arena, the laugh kind of fades into the like it's like
like a delayed reaction, kind of like the wave.
It throws my timing off. Like I like to just punch, and if you do that and the laugh is all out of whack, it doesn't. My timing gets screwed up, and I'm not smart enough to stay that focused. Like I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
And if you're all over the place in front of 20,000 people, it's bizarre looking.
Yeah.
It looks like you're coming unglued. If people can see every little nuance of your face, they get what you're feeling. You know?
Yeah. So do you feel like you're real big on the physical comedy side where you like as far as Like the expressions as far as gesturing, because I feel like there's a big difference in comedy as far as the physical movement you would take on a stage versus if someone can see your face like close up as if like on a TV screen.
Yeah, TV, like, I had to learn all this stuff, but like TV, less is more. Like you don't have to go as far as you do, but I don't think about anything except for telling my stories. So when I don't even like watching myself on TV because I start to go like, God, dude, you're really wigging out on that thing. Like,
And
what
pick
is
yourself apart.
Yeah, and I don't want that in my head. I just want to naturally tell the story, and they don't come out the same every time. So I can tell a story one way one night and different the other night because I'm just telling it. I'm not.
Right.
I don't like to memorize or get into. I just have chunks. Like if you looked at an hour-long set, there could be 5 words, and that's the hour. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to write out, oh, then I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to say that, because it doesn't – I don't have any feeling in that. It doesn't – I feed off of the crowd. A lot of comics don't need the crowd to feed off of. You know, if you're a real structured guy, you know, you're not necessarily living off the – I mean, if you watch a show that I do for 1,000 people or a show I do for 200 people, it's the same thing, you know? And it just – for me personally – I love the connection.
Did you have major background or training in like stage performance, or you just kind of developed it naturally over the years?
No, I did not have any real stage performance.
Just practice comedy?
Yeah, I mean, I used to, when I bartended in college, my roommates had a band, and I'd get up and sing these stupid songs with them. But that was about it, and that was drunk, you know, like it was just, I'd be bartending, and they're like, hey, come sing that Taco Bell thing or whatever, and I'd get up and dance around like a dumbass, but no training.
So when you were getting started out, you were a bartender, and you just kind of shifted into doing open mic stuff?
Yeah, I wanted to do it. My mom, like, said to me one time, I was teaching school part-time and then working at the Punchline. And I was just, you know, I was getting fired. I always got fired from jobs. And I had jobs from when I was 14. I was working construction when I was 14 years old because my mom she was a vice president of a construction company, a builder. And I couldn't just sit at home by myself. And I got sent to military school. So, like, when I'd come home, I'd be home for 3 months in the summer. My mom's like, go to work, you know? So, and I had a hard time with structure and everything. So she was like, you need to figure out your favorite thing in the world to do and then find a way to make money at it. And I was like, I just gotten out of college. I was like, well, I love drilling beers and I love telling jokes. Then I know I'm going to do that, you know? And she's like, that's not what I'm talking about. You know, I'm like, no, that is what you're talking about. That's what I'm going to do. So I would trade out. I worked at a comedy club in Atlanta at the Punchline, and I did every job you could do. I worked the door. I worked the kitchen. I bartended. I did phone, you know, whatever.
Just to get mic time.
Just to be there. And then, like, the girls' toilet would overflow in the women's room. And all the waitresses were hot. And they're like, we're not cleaning up doo-doo off the – and I'm like, I'll do it for 7 minutes on Wednesday. And they're like, just do it, you know. So I'm trading out bad jobs for stage time. And then I gradually got in a rotation. Then I had like 3 weeks booked, making like $100 a week. And I thought I was a comedian. So I ditched my apartment, quit my teaching job, and lived on the road. I'm not kidding, dude. Like,
and you were able to make the income that fast?
No. That was the stupid
part. It was a horrible idea.
Yeah, it was a terrible idea. But I got free hotel rooms. So I would just work. Like 1 week I'd be in Ocala, Florida. Then the next week I'd be like in Lubbock, Texas. And then because I just take whatever I could get.
Yeah. So you're booking your own gigs?
Yeah.
And you're just hitting up like calling places or what?
Yeah, because nobody wants to work for $125. But if you don't have any place to live and you just need beer and food money, I'm like, I'll do it. You know, and they're like, come on. I was doing biker bars and I'm like, you got to give me a hotel. They're like, fine, you know. So some places I'd even stay for a couple weeks and MC and just do different material.
Yeah.
You know, and try to just take every bit of work I could get so I had somewhere to sleep.
That is that's insane, but I think that is a testament to the kind of dedication that it takes to get in, like, just do this.
You have to. You have to, like, just throw yourself into it. Now, times have changed a lot. There were a lot of clubs back there then that I could bounce around to and kind of rotate in and out of. And they were Tuesday through Sunday. So I had a room, You know,
okay.
I'd knock out 4 of those in a month, and I don't know, you know.
And then you spend one day traveling.
And then I'd spend one day, meet somebody, and hang out, and yeah, it was fun. And people are like, "Wasn't that hard?" I'm like, "No, dude. I had my car. I had a hot pot in the back seat that I could plug in the hotel room. I had clothes hanging out the windows, and I just freaking was in a Honda Civic. I just went, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a blast.
What advice you got for young comics coming up? Because you say there's not the same balance of comics to clubs now, right?
Well, there's a lot of people that aren't comics that are working comedy clubs.
Right.
Like there's people that are on YouTube that make a funny video about doing nails or whatever, and then they have to do an hour of material and they don't have it.
Oh, right.
So it's people will pay to see them.
Right.
And I don't knock anybody for booking them because, you got to sell tickets. I mean, we're all in this to make a living off
Sure.
of it. But a lot of them aren't comics. So I tell younger guys, I'm like, dude, if this is what you're going to do, this is what you do. I told my son the same thing.
Right.
He wants to go into directing movies and all that stuff. He's like, well, for a fallback, I'm like, there is no fallback.
That's what
You don't have. It's not 1940. If you work for AT&T, you can get fired tomorrow too.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have a fallback if you're going to do something creative. This is what I'm doing, and then you figure out a way to make that work. Now, if you have to work another job to get to point A, yeah, do it, man. But don't go, I make movies, but I'm also a real estate agent, on the weekends. And then, I don't know if I want to leave this because I want to, then you're not really doing it.
Yeah.
You have a hobby and you like telling people you do it, but you're not living it.
Yeah.
And success isn't money in this. Success isn't, I've had TV shows. I was miserable when I had them. Like the most successful point in my career, I was miserable because I thought it was going to fill something. I was like, man, if I ever got my own TV show on a network, I'd be the happiest. Then I'd get a show on NBC, and I'm like, nah, I'm not happy.
And did you like the people that you worked with, like as far as the TV show stuff went?
Loved them.
And
so much fun, man.
so it had nothing to do with that.
No. It had to do with me thinking that that's what success was. It had to do with me thinking it was almost like when I was a kid. I never looked at something, at anything, and was like, I'm going to do that forever. Like I was like, all right, I wanted to race BMX bikes, right? So I always rode my bike everywhere. I rode it to work. I rode, when I was 11, I'd not work, but I had a paper route, and I was like, I'm gonna race bikes. I want to get in the Snowman Classic thing in Virginia. So I got in and I won. Well, I never raced again.
How old were you?
Like 11, but I never raced again, right? Until I was like 14. Then I was like, I'm gonna do it again. Then I did it and I won again, and I'm like, I'm out. So I like doing something, like being in movies. I wasn't in any good great movies, but I got to I wanted to be in a Christmas movie. I'm in Jingle All the Way too. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm done with that. Now what? Okay, I want to do a radio show. Then I had a radio show on Sirius for 3 years. Okay, that was fun. Now I'm going to do that. I want to host TV, so I started putting myself out for that kind of stuff. But it was weird because I kept thinking that stuff in this job was going to make me happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I first started, first of all, I believed everybody's credits, which was stupid. Like I'm working the door at the Punchline, and these guys were the MC, and they go, "You've seen him on the Tonight Show," and I'm like, "Oh man, these guys are rich." Like that guy's on the Tonight Show. They were all lying, and so when I got out and I started getting these gigs, I'm like, God, how do you live off of $120 a week? And I'm like, you were on the Tonight Show? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, then why'd you say that? Like, you're lying about your stuff? Yeah, it makes me look better. Why would you want to set yourself up and have them be like, oh, this guy's on TV? Then they watch you and go, there's no way that guy was on. Like, that's worse.
Yeah.
Downplay. I don't list every movie I've been in when I go. I want people to go, well, maybe this guy's done something. Maybe he hasn't. It'll be a surprise. Wow, he's fantastic. He should be on TV. And then they find out you were.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to your social media guy. You are probably the guy who has posted the most about your events coming up. So props on that level.
His name is Adrian, and we just started working together because I am an old dog who does not like new tricks. And he's like, dude, we've been friends for a long time. He's like, I don't know. What are you doing? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you don't put anything on social media. Like, you're not even doing anything. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's stupid. And I don't, And he's like, no. He's like, we got to make it fun, right? So he's like, just listen to what I'm saying. Just tell people where you're going to be because I was going to do a show like in Tampa, And then the week after that, someone sends me a message, when are you coming to Tampa?
Right.
You know, and I'm like, I was just there Saturday, you know? So, no, I'm trying.
Yeah, it's working.
I'm trying to get out there. And I answer everything.
Oh, okay.
So part of it, like if somebody sends me a message or something, if somebody takes the time to write me something, I'm going to answer it.
Nice.
It's like a letter.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You know, if somebody cares enough about to want to know where your show, I'm going to tell them. Or
Right.
if they like something, I'm going to tell them.
Yeah,
if they
that's
don't
awesome.
like something, you know. So it's interesting getting into this. And I know I'm like so far behind that it's prehistoric.
Just got to start.
Yeah. Yeah.
The more stuff you can, in that realm, there's stuff that's always changing, but across most platforms, the basics are all the same. So, like being able to shoot little videos and put a pick up, and which you're doing, you're getting done, making sure it's happening. So I think that's awesome. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Let's see. Well, I think that's it. We're right at 15 minutes, brother.
Yeah. Dude, I had a blast. This club is so much fun.
Yeah, it's
The
a
staff
brand
is
new,
great. Yeah.
brand new club. It's got that new club smell. I feel like the seats, like the shape is good.
Those shows sold out Friday and Saturday, and it didn't feel. It still felt really good.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I know this is going to sound weird, but sometimes when they're sold out like that, it's 120 degrees in the club. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
It was great that it was 11 outside.
Right.
And it was so much fun.
Yeah, that's. I'm sure the extra hot clubs and the contrast of the winter probably makes it a lot better show.
Yeah, it does. That's why there's always the air conditioning's cranked up in the clubs, because once it gets hot, it's hard to laugh.
It is, and
like, damn,
then you got to take your clothes off, and
Yeah.
we don't allow full frontal nudity.
Yeah, just the rear.
Just rear nudity. That's it. We
Yeah.
have a strict. There's a sign.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching. You guys have an awesome night. We'll see you soon. St. Charles Funny Bone, come see us, and we're looking forward to having you back.
Dude, I can't wait to come back.
All right.
It was fun.
Peace. Thanks.